Marcus says there's also so much framework language war going on in the chat of coding streams. Uh,
Eh,
I mean, while true, I think that's a skill of the streamer to kind of keep chat on track as well, which is
Yeah.
hard to do sometimes, but that's part of the streamer's job, I think.
Yeah, that does happen. And it hasn't happened too much to me yet because most of the people that come and hang are like from my Twitter, and most of those people are Laravel people, and so we don't get too much. The closest we got was when I was futzing around with Docker, and I was like, "This is terrible. I don't like this." And people were like, "No, Docker's really good," and other people were like, "No, it's terrible." So, but yeah, you're almost kind of like you're like a moderator, but you're also like almost like a teacher. Be like, guys, don't fight. Like we're having fun, or a parent. I would imagine we're having fun. We're hanging out. Everyone can have different opinions about React versus Vue. Like it doesn't matter. Let's just hang out. So yeah, you do have to kind of like, and I haven't had to boot anyone besides obvious scams, and but beyond that, I haven't had to boot anyone for like bad behavior or
Right.
inappropriate comments or anything. And I don't look forward to that, but I imagine that that's a challenge that
At
that
some point, you'll
comes.
have to bring the ban hammer down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't, and I think it's good for people to disagree in chat and have opposing
Sure.
viewpoints and talk about it and work it through. I just don't like when it gets to be nasty, name calling and because like I'm not a Laravel person. Because I went and hung out at one of your chats because I wanted to see how you were doing,
That was
and
fun.
I had no idea what you were doing in the code, because I don't know Laravel. I've never touched PHP. And my best understanding of Laravel is it's kind of to PHP what Rails is to Ruby. It's kind of the framework of PHP, I guess, the web framework.
Exactly right. Yeah.
But I don't know that syntax, but I still had fun hanging out because, interacting with the chat, talking to you, just watching you do things and how you think about code. And that's kind of one of the big benefits I see to people doing stuff like this is younger programmers or people that are interested in being in programming can watch these things and start to learn how people think about code and the different ways to approach coding problems. And I think that's extraordinarily valuable because that's not something you're going to get from a book.
No, I think there's a lot of, I kind of catalog that as like detritus. It's like the little stuff that kind of, it just is kind of out there. It's not like the meat of the stream, or in a lot of cases, the live coding talk. Like you're talking about one thing, but you're also doing everything else that you do in your normal life, which is you have a certain set of key bindings and you have your editor set up in a certain way, and you like to follow a certain route to final code, and maybe that's like giant method that's super ugly, maybe that's TDD to start. And it's fun to see, like, as I was thinking about getting into streaming, I watched a bunch of other streamers, and it's really fun to see what you can learn that's not the thing they're teaching, or not the thing that they're showing. And I've had some people in the chat be like, "Whoa, how did you do that?" And I'm just like, in PHP Storm, and my hands do a certain thing that I can't even remember anymore, and my code, does a thing, and I'm like, oh, maybe that is interesting, because it's like it's built into my wrists and my fingers, but for other people, they haven't seen that PHP Storm feature before. And so that's kind of fun to like do the whole thing live, because people will pick up on stuff that you weren't even meaning to share, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Zool, oh man, I'm not going to get this right, so I'm just going to say Zool because that's the best I got. Sorry, you just correct me right there in chat how to say it, but we also have the Fortify versus Breeze. As long as it's like friendly, it's fine. I completely agree. I actually like hearing about.
I know exactly what they're talking about. That's a Laravel like internal, like the Laravel community is like, Fortify is better, no Breeze is better, and we're always like kind of battling it out. So yeah.
And I actually like seeing those things in chat because I like to learn new stuff. My big thing is, okay, you say this is better. Why? Because maybe I'll think so too if you can tell me why. Maybe I just don't know. Oh, I got it right. Cool. I'm on point tonight. Rebuilt, is it more important for the audience to ask questions or to make suggestions? My answer to that would be yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, I don't care. As long as you're having fun and being like respectful, you can make suggestions, you can make jokes, you can ask questions. I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. Like don't be embarrassed to ask a question of like, what the heck is that, or something like that. But yeah, I don't it's weird, maybe the like the social feeling of being the streamer versus being the audience, but I feel on my side like we're just hanging out. Like I'm just hanging out with some people whose only interface to me is chat, but I can talk back to them. But yeah, when you're in the audience, it maybe feels a little different. But from my point of view, it's like, yeah, say whatever you want. Let's hang out. Let's have some fun. If I'm dorking it up and making a bad call, you should tell me, because like I definitely make bad calls a lot of the time.
Yeah. And I think, as an audience member, part of the streaming kind of, not really etiquette, but a smart thing to do as an audience member is come to the stream and spend 5 or 10 minutes reading the room to see how the streamer and that chat room likes to run their show. Right? Because the chat runs the show just about as much as the streamer does. Once there's a lot of chat in there, they're an integral part of the show. And so, spend a little bit reading the room, and then, you'll figure it out. What I've seen from most developer type streamers, and we're the same way on this show, is we want more chat interaction. Asking questions, fantastic. Giving suggestions, awesome. Making funny comments, love it. Just go. Just don't be mean. That's all we want.
Yeah. Because you're out here on the stage all alone, and you're just like, will somebody please say something? Right? Yeah, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
If you like this clip and want to watch another one, you can click right here. Or if you want to watch the full video, you can click here.